Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying for the last presentation. So I came to Japan originally for a job with Universal Studios Japan. And they contracted me to do a live painting performance called Drawn into a Dream. This is my show. During my contract with Universal Studios, I had 4 other shows that I did. There was The Happy Painter, Drawn into a Dream, the second year, and then the last show I did was called The Real You, where I was wearing these huge stilts. So in each show, I would do paintings that were upside down, and then I would flip it at the end, and that would be the big reveal. I left Universal Studios in 2012, and decided to start focusing more on my own fine art and showing in galleries and doing murals and stuff like that. Here's some examples of my most recent work. This is a series called Predators, and in this series I wanted to explore kind of the anxiety of animals and the tension that occurred when they were in moments of fear or when they were fighting. So I also wanted to present them in a very colorful way so that it wasn't all just aggression, blood, and gore. It was more about seeing the beauty in these emotions and the raw emotions that these animals had. As you notice, a lot of my work has very geometric elements, and most of that comes from inspiration from origami. When I first came to Japan, I was really fascinated by my friends. They could make these little origami animals and little boxes and what have you. And from that, I would unfold the pieces of paper, and I would see all these patterns that were in the origami from the folds. And this was a burst of inspiration for me. And I took this and I thought, well, I could use this and start doing portraits and people and animals and what have you. This is a really good example of the origami inspiration where you can see lines that are brought through, this is actually a portrait of Jimi Hendrix. You can see the lines that are brought through his face and how everything is connected there. Another thing that I like to do with my origami inspired work is to take it to kind of like a pop art style realm. I tend to bring in colors that are very bold and striking, and a lot of times people ask me, why do you decide to put a color here or a color there? And my only explanation really is just you have to kind of feel where the color goes, and that's where you put it. I don't really have another explanation for it. Another thing that I do is murals. This is something I did back in the States, and I've been really wanting to push more of it here in Japan. There's a big lack of it going on here. Most of it, what we see here is graffiti, and street art and murals is something that I think that this city could really use. This was for the Takatsuki Art Expo 2015, and I've worked with them for a couple of years now. And one of the best parts of working with them is that I get to do workshops with kids. And they get to come and paint, and we get to interact, and they get to make a big mess, and they get to clean up, and it's a lot of fun. This is a piece I did of Alan Watts in Tekozan. This was a commission piece for a book called Heroes. It's a street art book that will be coming out in July from a company called Knock Knock Publishing. This was the first mural I did with the Takatsuki Art Expo. And this was a really fun project that I did with them. We laid this whole canvas out flat on the ground, and we had anybody who came out of the station to come and help me paint. So basically what I did is I had a paint by number scheme, and I had all the colors set up, like R1 was red one, and E1 was blue one, and so forth. And so the kid would put their hand in the box, they'd pull out a card that had B1 or whatever it was. I would bring them the color, we find the part on the mural, and we paint it. This was actually somebody's house in Yao, Osaka, and it's actually gone now, unfortunately. And I think that's the reason why they let me paint on it, actually, because they knew it was going to be torn down. But that wall was actually a really good opportunity just to kind of like, just do something so that it was more visible to people, that art doesn't have to be graffiti and vandalism. This is a piece I did from an exhibition at Pine Brooklyn Gallery in Osaka. Right here is an image from the Gemini space program. These are two astronauts in a capsule, and it's appropriately in a bar called Moon Tower. A lot of times, I like to do images that, when they're really close up, you don't know what they are, but when you step back, you get an idea of what it is. So this was, you can really see the origami inspiration in this. This was one of the first murals I did based on that style. This was in Kathmandu, Nepal. This was also a collaboration with a bunch of students at that school. It's called Shikshantar. And this is a red panda. It's at the other side at the end of the Baghdadi Bridge in Kathmandu. This was all part of a project called Color Kathmandu. We had over 60 international artists come and paint murals around the city. I think they did almost 70 murals, each one representing a certain area of Nepal. This kind of gives you an idea of what that actually looks like from a distance. So I actually wanted to say a lot more, but it went pretty fast. But thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. You might have got one of my postcards with my information on it, and it has my website and Facebook and Instagram and what have you. So if you'd like to contact me and ask a question or anything else, or sign up for the newsletter, I always post exhibitions and what have you. But thank you very much. I appreciate it.